Shalom. What exactly does it mean to Hallelu-Yah? Yes, you all know the phrase, we all know the phrase, Hallelu-Yah. And in that phrase, we're actually using a verb, Hallelu, and we're saying, give this action of Hallel to Yah. So what actually does Hallel mean? Well, join me today, because today we're going to take a deep dive and we're going to see that the term to Hallel, that verb, is a call to exuberant ululation. Yes, it does mean praise, but it's more than just the English concept of praise. Yes, it's a call to exuberant ululation. We're going to take a deep dive using Tehillim 117 verse 1 and understand exactly what this verb means. I'm Moriah ben Avraham. Join me here today on Talmidei Yehovah while we take this deep dive and understand what exactly it means to give Hallel, yes, to Hallelu-Yah. So let's get into it. To start off with, let's read this verse. We'll read it first in Ivree, in Hebrew, and then we'll read the translation in English and dive deep into the meaning of the words. In Hebrew it reads, Hallelu eth Yehovah kol goyim, shabakuhu kol ha'umim. Let's break that down word for word. Hallelu, that's the verb in question, often translated as praise, and we're going to understand it more deeply. So let's just understand it as praise for the moment. We'll dig deep into it in a second as we open it up. We'll use the Blue Letter Bible. I'll show you exactly what it means. Hallelu eth Yehovah. So we know that we're saying Hallelu, just like in Hallelu-Yah, but in Hallelu-Yah, if I show you a number of places where that's written, you'll see it's a hyphenated word. It's Hallelu, the same verb, and hyphenated Yah. And Yah is the short way of saying Yehovah. It's the short name, the shortened form of the same creator, the same Elohim that we worship, that we're in covenant relationship with. So you can say Yah, meaning Yehovah, or you can just say Yehovah. In this case, we're not saying Hallelu-Yah, we're saying it in the long form. Hallelu eth Yehovah. And eth, by the way, is a grammatical marker that doesn't exist in English. In Hebrew, this grammatical term is used to indicate the direct object of the verb. So the noun that is the direct object, meaning Yehovah is the direct object of this action of Hallel, is indicated by this Hebrew word et, or eth in this case, because there's no dagesh in the tav. So we pronounce it with the th sound. So Hallelu eth Yehovah kol goyim. That means all nations, all peoples. This is a call to praise Yehovah, all nations, all peoples, everyone who's been created, all beings on earth. Hallelu, give this action of Hallel. We're going to see exactly what the action is. It's more than just simply saying praise. It's more than that. And we'll understand that in a moment. So it says, Hallelu eth Yehovah kol goyim, shabachuhu. This is a parallel word of praise. This particular phrase brings to mind the way you might imagine a king being worshipped and praised, people standing on the side fanning him. This idea of Shabbat, and we could talk about this in another video, is sort of like praising with your hands in the air and waving up and down. Shabbat, shabechuhu, kol ha'umim, all you peoples, give him this praise. He's worthy of this praise. So that's the phrase in English. But now let's dive deep and understand exactly what is meant by the term Hallelu. So let's look at this Tehillim in the Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to open up here the interlinear translation. Here you could see every word in Ivree, and you can see this verb Hallelu. It comes from, halal. Halal is the verb, and you can see how it's variously translated as praise, glory, boast, mad, shine, foolish, fools, commended, rage, celebrate, give, marriage, renowned. Why so many different words if it just means praise? Well, if you understand the actual action, because this is not just a word that means to say praise with your mouth. There's an action to it. If you understand the action, then you can understand how the action has been used culturally by Israelite people and related peoples in the Middle East and Africa over the ages. It's still used in all those areas, this very practice, except that most people don't connect the dots and understand that what we're talking about is literally Hallel. They think of it more as ululation, but ululation is just another way of saying what we say in Hebrew, halal, or lehalel is the verb, the way we would say it in the infinitive. Look here at what Jusinius says. Jusinius says this, and I'll look at the full entry here. Halal, to be clear, to be brilliant. Okay, and then he says, it's used of a clear, sharp tone or sound. In Ethiopia, the women on occasions of public rejoicing are accustomed to repeat the sounds. In other words, that's what he's trying to spell out here. Whence to make LL is to rejoice or to praise. And that's why, and this sound is used culturally all throughout Africa, not just to praise, it's definitely used for praise. Anything that's joyous, any moment of praise, when they're singing, when they're dancing, when there's a marriage, when there's a wedding, when there is war, when you're slaughtering an animal, all of these moments of high exhilaration bring about this highest form of praise, which is to ululate or when we think about Hallel in the context of Tehillim 117 verse 1, it's helpful to consider the cultural practice of ululation. Ululation is a high-pitched, wavering vocal sound commonly used all throughout Africa and in what we call today Middle Eastern cultures to express strong emotions like joy and celebration. Notice also how it can be used for war, as in how the Zulu used it in their war chief. But in most cases, it's just an expression of joy, of singing, of praise. In these cultures, ululation is a communal activity, much like the collective act of praise described in Tehillim. When Tehillim 117 was written, and when Dawid commands Hallelu, it's really a command or a call for the community to engage in this very act of exuberant, joyful noise making. It's saying, do ululation. Go. So if you're just in a moment of praise and all you do is say hallelujah, hallelujah, are you ever getting around to the actual act of giving Hallel? Do you actually praise with your voice in this strong emotional way? If not, you're missing out on part of what it means to give Hallel to Yah, to Yahuwah. Imagine a worship setting where the leader calls out Hallelu-Yah and the community responds with this call and response format brings everyone together in a unified act of praise. In summary, Tehillim 117 isn't just a call to verbal praise. It's an invitation to dynamic, communal expression of joy and reverence, much like we see in African cultures all throughout Africa and even all throughout what we call today the Middle East. Understanding this connection can enrich our own experience when we worship Yahweh and give him praise. Thank you for joining me in exploring this beautiful connection between the Hebrew term Hallelu and ululation. If you found this insightful and helpful, please share this with your friends, hit like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and join us again for more explorations into the depths of what's written in Torah. Shalom, shalom.